Hello there, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by for our weekly tarot video forecast for the week of June 3rd through the 9th. I have already cleared your cards and shuffled them. I do have them down on the table in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through this week and what to expect. These are going to be major trends, and this is a general reading. So not everything I see here is going to apply to every single Aries that watches this video. And so if you feel like it doesn't resonate, of course, you can always check out your rising sign or your moon sign. And if those don't work for you either, if you would like to get a private reading where I look straight up at just your energies, feel free to contact me to set that up. And you can reach me through the contact information on my website. My website's www.amista, .info. You'll find my email, my phone number, and my Skype ID all there. Email is the least preferable. Those tend to get lost with the shuffle. I've got a lot of emails coming in all the time. If you're really serious about getting a session with me, I would recommend either texting or Skyping. Okay, so let's just get started with your week, Aries. What we have coming up for you as far as your environment. An environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. And so, what I'm seeing about your environment is that you have been putting in a lot of effort and energy, especially into your environment, and you're starting to see some of the results of that. So, maybe if you've been planting flowers in the garden or vegetables in the garden, you may be starting to see some flowers and some vegetables. If you have been working on adding an addition to the home, or if you have been working on some kind of project at work, you're starting to actually see how that's turning out and where that's going. So, really nice card to come up for the environment, whichever environment it's talking about for you, Aries. Next thing that we have coming up talks to me about your subconscious leanings. Now, it looks to me like there are some changes that you want to make to your plans, probably more long-term type plans, or maybe even travel plans. But as you are working on how you can make these changes without interfering with anything else that's been going on or interfering with it minimally, then this is something that your subconscious is working on. How can you actually pull those changes off? How can you make sure everybody around you that's impacted by that also is happy with those changes being made as well? The next thing that we have coming up talks to me about two different things. First of all, your learning style, and second of all, your communication style. So, as far as learning style, at least during this week, Aries, I do see you picking up a lot of information, and I see you actively picking it up. I see you looking for information in all kinds of different sources as well. So, this to me does not seem so much like formal study, which of course doesn't mean that there aren't Aries out there who are doing formal study, but this looks to me more like research, talking to the right people, looking up the right things, that type of thing to get your information this week. And then as far as communication, I think that you're being very plain about what it is that you want, what it is that you're doing. All of that seems to be very much like for public consumption as you're communicating. I think that if anything, if anybody wants to know anything about you, you're pretty much an open book. All they have to do is ask. And there's a lot of information you're putting out there that, people just have at their fingertips. They don't even have to ask. You're putting out information so everybody's on the same page as far as what you have planned or what you're doing. Now, next I'm looking Aries at work. And for me, work is two things. Work is that thing by which we make a living, but it is also the thing that we do to improve our own inner character. So, as far as making a living, looks to me, Aries, like you could be doing a lot of presentations. You could be making a presentation for promoting yourself to your supervisor, hoping to get a raise. You could be making presentations to clients or even maybe to bosses at work. But definitely there's a storytelling factor here. There is you telling the story to other people. You could be doing some coaching. You could be doing some mentoring. You could be emceeing a big event. So there's something to do with storytelling or passing along the word whenever it comes to work for you guys. This could even be, submitting your resume into a bunch of different places, telling your story wherever you put your resume out to. Okay, as far as inner work. Okay, so Aries, I feel like um, you are normally bright, shiny, happy, outgoing, extroverted people. And I think that a lot of that is motivated by your general happiness and optimism. But I feel like the inner work this week is going to be to keep that optimism going and keep it as up to snuff as it usually is. I don't think that you're going to lose optimism. I think that there may be some people that you're interacting with that might dim that optimism a little bit. And so your inner work is to keep that optimism flowing and moving forward. Excuse me a minute. The next thing that we're looking at here, Aries talks to me about those things that way in which your personality is being grown or expanded, really. And so it looks to me like you may be spending a lot of time away from home or away from family. Maybe you're not the one that's away from home or family. Maybe they're away, but there's some separation that's going on. I do feel like this is, first of all, temporary separation. So it may be that some of you are on vacation and the rest of your family didn't get to go because they have to work or whatever. But there's something coming up here definitely about separation. And I feel like I said, it is temporary, and you're just learning how to cope with this sense of separation. How are you going to fill your time when you don't have that person around to fill your time with? All right, so the next thing that we have coming up talks to me about those things that you stand for. This is really interesting, Aries. What I have coming up is somebody really is not treating you in a fair way or a right way. They're basically taking advantage of you, and you are standing up for them. So somebody is saying to you, "Why are you letting this person do this? Why are you letting this person treat you this way?" And you are defending them. You're making excuses for them, whatever. You're standing up for this person in this situation, for them treating you the way that they have been treating you. The next thing that I'm looking at talks to me about how other people perceive you. And generally, this is going to be the person that you just had to stand up to. And this person sees you as somebody who's not really stable. Like they're thinking, they're looking at this situation and they're thinking that you don't have a foundation really set. Like you don't have a good sense of who you are. So they're seeing you as somebody who is a little bit unstable here and unsteady on your feet. The next thing that we have coming up for the week talks to me about the lesson or experience of the week. And this is the experience that generally starts to sort of shift the energy, at least somewhat. What we've got here is that you have options. You have options, and you're considering what you want to do with those options in front of you. You're kind of, at this point, you're still kind of in daydreaming mode. Like, could I really do that? Wouldn't it be nice if da 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 da? And you're starting to understand and realize that things don't have to be exactly the way they have been. There are other options here. So you have options. That's the lesson or experience. As you're realizing that you do have other options, I feel like you are, well, for some of you, this is going to be financial, but for others of you, this is going to be emotional. And there will be some that there's an overlap. This will be both. But you're going to be holding back. You're going to be stashing back. So if this is financial, you're going to be putting money back for a stash for some of those options you're thinking about. Like maybe you haven't decided which option you want to go for, but you know that you're going to need some financial resources, whichever option that you choose. So you're starting to stash back while you think about which option it is that you want to move forward with. For others of you, this is emotional. This is, I want to keep my options open. I don't want to share completely and fully with somebody that's just because they're around. And so, sort of closing down on the emotions and not sharing as freely, maybe as you did before, or maybe as you have with other people before. The other thing that comes up as you're looking at these options and you're kind of drawing back or detaching a little bit, or you're holding some of your money back, is that there are some things that come out. There's some information that comes up as you're looking at these options that help you understand a little bit more about what options are actually viable and what options are not. And then we see you, the last card of the week or the last theme of the week talks about understanding that even though you may have been saving some finances back, now you have some kind of news about finances that sort of sets you back. It's not something that you were expecting. So this can be finding out that, oh, I'm supposed to pay for something I didn't know that I was supposed to pay for, or I have a bigger invoice than I thought I would on this particular thing. I miscalculated that, something like that. This is some kind of news about money that we're wishing we didn't have the next time. Peace out.